Hey, what's going on, guys? It's FPL Yusuf here, and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be going over my game week 21 transfer targets. We're going to look at what my current team's looking like for the coming game week, the moves that I am looking to make this week, but also we'll take a quick little recap at how we got on last week with the wildcard active. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me today on my YouTube channel for another video. Before we get into this one, if you guys wouldn't mind dropping a thumbs up and subscribing down below, it would be greatly appreciated. So how did we get on in game week 20? Obviously, we did use our wild card last week, which means that we were coming with a fresh squad, fresh players. And you know what? We actually got off to a really good start with it. So we got a green arrow. We are inside the top 2 mil now. So we are working our way up. We're at 1.8. We had a very good week, 72 points overall. I'm recording this on the Tuesday evening, so all the games are done now. Some of the highlights in the team, Mo Salah continuing his run, just getting another goal. Yes, it was from the penalty spot, but this is why it makes him such a good asset. So he got a return. Palmer obviously coming in with a 10-pointer. Raul Jimenez up front being the star man for us. Got himself a brace. Yes, they were 2 penalties, but you know what? We'll take it. 13 points from him. And then, of course, the Nottingham Forest defence coming in huge. Matt Sells getting, the 5 saves and the 2 bonus points. Milenkovic is keeping the clean sheet. So, yeah, really happy with the double clean sheet there as well. A little bit underwhelming with Ollie Watkins. Obviously, that was the real big decision we had to make was, do we go for Chris Wood over Ollie Watkins? Obviously Chris Wood this week against Wolves obviously scored, had the prime fixture, but Watkins next week has got Everton, whereas Chris Wood has Liverpool. So it was a little bit of a gamble, I guess. Watkins was only going to be in here for a 2-week punt, but we're going to talk about my transfers in the next section. But overall, can't complain. A green arrow is a green arrow. We are inside the top 2 million now, and starting to make some rank and starting to push towards our next step, which is probably going to be the top 1 million. But yeah, very happy with how the wildcard squad went this week. But right now, we're going to get into what my transfers are looking at for game week 21, and also the current team that I've got going out for that week. Okay, so current transfers coming up for this game week. So for me personally, when I made the wildcard last week, I was looking at just rolling this week. However, Luis Diaz has become on my radar now as a potential risk. So he got subbed off on, I think it was the 59th minute, 55 seconds. He was literally like 5 seconds away from getting a second point, and he chose to sprint off. I was so mad at that. But this was the risk that does come with him, is that he is going to be rotated, and he will get these early subs. And for me, I just don't know if I like, especially over the next 2 game weeks, the difference between game week 21 and 22 is only about 3 or 4 days. So I don't see a world in which Diaz plays both of them for 90 minutes. There's no chance that happening. My worry is that he's going to start one and then be benched for one. So I think for me, the original plan was just to roll and take 2 transfers into game week 22. However, I think this has become a little bit more of a problem. Now, I know Liverpool obviously have got good fixtures coming up. They've got, Ipswich in 23. Then there's a high chance they have a double in either 24 or 25. I'm going to get onto what I kind of want to do and why I think Cody Gakpo might be the better shout for those sort of games coming up. But yeah, I think for me, it's gone from looking to roll the transfer to Luis Diaz might have to be brought out with my free transfer. So who do we go with? I think my first and my main target at the moment is currently looking at Eze. Now, I'm going to try and hold off on this transfer because obviously we have to go through the 3rd round of FA Cup games. Some teams have got, like Liverpool, for example, have got a Carabao Cup semi-final game. So there's a lot of potential for players to be injured, a lot of things to change between now and next weekend. So I'm going to try and hold off as long as I can. I'll keep an eye on the price rises. Obviously, if Luis Diaz is going to drop or Eze is going to go up, then it may force my hand. But at the time being and the time of recording, I'm going to just try and leave it as long as I can. Now, for me, Eze has got a nice couple of game weeks run. So obviously they're playing Leicester in game week 21, which means I would be doubled up on Crystal Palace because I already own Ismaila Sarr. However, I just think he's in quite good form at the moment. He's creating for Crystal Palace. He's scoring himself. So Palace have got sort of like a good sort of 2, 3, 4 fixtures where I can just leave him in the team, let him be there. And even if they come up against, a bit more of a tricky run of fixtures, he's easy to swap out or just easy just to put on the bench, either him or Sarr, one of them to rotate out. So yeah, for me, I'm looking at moving Eze in for the Diaz spot. There was consideration for Bryant and Burmo, but I just think, he's got Man City next up. Then he has Liverpool. I kind of would want to just get past those fixtures. It would probably be either 23 or 24 when they play either Crystal Palace or Tottenham. But again, both those games are absolutely fine. And obviously Brentford go on a nice little run after that. So I think for me, the only transfer that I'm really going to look to make this week is probably moving Luis Diaz out. And like I said, Eze is my number 1 target. There is an outside chance of Burmo, but just to try and move on him before his price goes up in a couple of weeks' time, which it will inevitably happen as Brentford go on their good run. But I just think for me, Eze now has got sort of 3-4 game week fixture that I could really look to target, and a double up on Crystal Palace isn't actually the worst thing in the world. Last season, if you remember towards the back end when I actually did a free hit when I took Eze Elise and Mateta, and it went so well. You know, they scored. I think the first game they scored like 5 goals in a double game week, and it was just fantastic. So I have no problems with doubling up on Crystal Palace, and I think right now Eze is the main target for my transfer this week. Okay, so let's just have a quick look and see what our current team is looking like for game week 21. So in goal, we're starting off with Matt Sells. When I did the wild card, I knew that he had Liverpool in this game week, so we're just going to leave him in there. You know, thing is with Forest. Forest did actually beat Liverpool at Anfield earlier in the season. You know, they won 1-0. Sells obviously got a clean sheet, and usually Matt Sells, even if he does concede, he usually racks up some decent saves for Forest. So I'm actually not too fussed with this one. You know, I'm just going to leave him in there. Obviously, Forest have got their fixtures after this. They play Southampton next week. So, yeah, I'm more than happy just to leave him there for this Liverpool game. It'll be a back three in defence. Jurrien Timber coming up first. You know, he's back after suspension now, so he's had a little bit of a rest against Tottenham. Now, this game could really go one of many ways, to be honest with you. Arsenal at the Emirates are a very strong defence. And we know that they've had the better of Tottenham over the last few seasons. I do think Spurs, you know, obviously it's a North London derby, they're going to be up for it. They will cause problems. But I could definitely see Arsenal getting a clean sheet here. You know, obviously Arsenal beat them 1-0 at their ground, you know, towards the start of the season. So there's no reason why Arsenal can't keep a clean sheet in this one. So yeah, I'm happy to start Jurrien Timber in this. Lewis Hall against Wolves, that's a no-brainer. You know, Wolves, obviously Matthias Cunha will be back, which does make it a little bit more tricky for Newcastle. But I just think with the way Newcastle are playing at the moment, you know, they're on such good form. They're scoring goals. Hall is you know, getting down that left-hand side with an attacking threat. So, yeah, he's definitely going to be in there. And the last defender to couple up will be Anthony Robertson. He's going away to West Ham. Probably has the worst fixture on paper. But, you know, Fulham are a decent outfit. They're a decent side. He's got, you know, decent assist threat going down that left-hand side as well. And with the way they're playing at the moment with the 5-back, he's very, very far forward and very advanced. So you could see maybe a few more goal opportunities as well coming his way. So, yeah, the defense pretty much kind of picks itself, as does the midfield. So we've got 5 across. Obviously, Salah and Palmer are going to be in there regardless. I think the captaincy probably will be between one of them two and Isak this week. We'll get onto that in a minute. So yeah, Salah against Forest. You know, Palmer's got Bournemouth at home. Not the easiest fixture, but, you know, something I wouldn't mind having captaincy it for. You know, Ismail Assar has got, you know, obviously Leicester away. Luis Diaz currently is in this team because, as I said, I haven't made the transfer yet. But if I do, it will be Eze. If not, and I decide to roll the transfer, then I think I'll probably just end up starting Raul Jimenez against West Ham, which, again, I don't mind doing either. So I think that's also something that I have to weigh up is saving the transfer and starting Jimenez, you know, a better move than bringing in Eze for 2 or 3 weeks? I'm not sure. So let me know in the comments down below on that one, because that one I think I'm kind of 50-50 with at the moment. Like, I don't mind starting Raul Jimenez. I think West Ham is actually a decent fixture to play. But at the same time, Eze against Leicester, is there a chance that he could go off? Maybe. I think it's going to come. That one will come down to the wire. I might end up saving it. I might end up making the transfer, but we'll leave that for a closer date. And then to round off the midfield is Anthony Gordon against Wolves. You know, he's in great form. I think he's got 6 returns in his last 6 or 5 returns in his last 6 or something like that. So he's ticking over very nicely. And of course, up front, Ollie Watkins against Everton at home. This will be the last week I own Ollie Watkins, most likely. I'll probably move him out to Chris Wood next week against Southampton. And then we've got, obviously, the man in form at the moment. The man who's chasing a record is Alexander Isak. I think if he scores in the next 2 games, I think he beats Jamie Vardy's record of consistent or consecutive goals scored in games. So he has got more than enough, you know, reasons to want to score in this game, which is why I'm actually consider him, as you can see right now on screen. He's actually my current captaincy choice. Obviously, Mo Salah has probably got the worst fixture on paper. You know, Forest are a good outfit. They beat Liverpool at Anfield at the start of the season. Obviously, Liverpool are going to have to go away to their ground. But I am wondering if there's 1 week to go against Salah. Is this the week with either a Palmer or a Jackson, with either a Palmer or a Isak? And I think I'm sort of 60% in favour of getting Alexander Isak my captain. So I've got it on there now. As we get closer to the deadline, like I said, you know, injuries may crop up, things may happen which change our views, and obviously I'll cover that in the final team selection video probably next week now, or maybe on this coming weekend. But yeah, I think at the time of recording currently, Isak is going to be my captain, and yeah, I think this is, if there's 1 week to go against Mo Salah, it probably is this week. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe down below. Let me know how you guys got on in the previous game week, and let me know if all your transfers that you're looking to make, what do you guys think I should do? You know, if you've got any sort of suggestions, any comments about, you know, my potential transfer, I think it's either going to be a roll or it's going to be Diaz out. Let me know which one you guys think would be best. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe down below, and I'll catch you guys next time.